Okay, welcome back everyone to another making of customs video, and today I'm going to take you through the making of my custom Transformers Universe MMO, Deadheat. Now, for those of you who don't know, Transformers Universe is styled after Transformers Prime. It was going to be an online game, and the character designs for it were just spectacular. I love so many of the character designs, so I wanted to try to make a few of them in figure form. And admittedly, G2 Dead End doesn't really look anything like Deadheat, but I really loved the kind of meteor flame deco on the side, and the colors were already kind of there. Now, previously, I had painted the lights purple, I painted the black trim on the figure, and I had also painted up the head a little bit, and the shins I painted silver. So this is already kind of customed, but I decided that I wanted to go all in. So I got the repro labels, and now we are in the process of disassembling the figure so that we can prime it and then work on the actual customization. And as I always say, if you are going to make a custom yourself, it will probably behoove you to film the disassembly process, or at least take a photo of all of your individual parts, just so you don't get confused during reassembly when you have just, 100 tiny parts lying about. So here we have everything all posted up and taped and ready to be primed, and you may probably want to sand a little bit. I did not bother taking off any of the deco, but I was pretty confident that everything was going to be covered up without any issue. And here it is. I didn't film the priming process, but I did. And then I used this extreme lacquer that was like burgundy or something, I forget exactly, but then I also used this turquoise, which are the same colors that I used for my Pincher custom. Now, the main reason that I wanted to make this was that Deadheat has this really cool like arrow blue kind of deco, and I wanted to try to recreate that. So I took the orange masking tape and I cut it and placed it at right angles on the hood, just to make it easier for myself, and then clearly taped everything up and sprayed it. Now, the one thing that I did was I removed all the tape while the paint was still wet, just to avoid any potential like tape bringing up the paint after it's dried. If you do this, just be careful not to accidentally get your fingers in the paint, or to touch any other part of the figure. But yeah, so here we are taking all the tape off, and yeah, it's looking all right. So now that everything is dry, we go ahead and continue the reassembly process. Especially since I didn't have to paint any others, it was just the body of the car. I felt fine doing this. So we are taking off all the excess tape that was covering up all the silver on the body and all of the hinges and things. And this reconstruction and disassembly process was actually fairly simple. So if you want to use this custom, or use this figure for your own custom, it's fairly straightforward. So we're going to hold off on sealing the thing until all of the detail paint is done, and until we've applied all of the repro labels. I don't know if I should have waited to apply the repro labels after sealing, but it didn't present any issue at the time, so whatever the correct process is to go about that, it's whatever. And as you'll see here in a minute more clearly, I went ahead and painted the rest of the stripe going back down the rear of the vehicle. And here we have the semi-full reveal. And honestly, this stripe, I'm so super proud of. It looks very well. It's very clean. So now we can begin on all of the detail work. So there are the repro labels, and I'm going to repaint all of the lights purple, and just a few other things here and there. So we're going to start off with the windshield pieces, which I knew that I wanted to use 100%. When it came to the rest of the deco, I reached a point where I wasn't sure if I wanted to add the flames or to not, because the flames are totally inaccurate to the game design, but I really liked the design, and since his name is Deadheat, I felt the flames made a little bit of sense. So I actually left it up to an Instagram poll, and the followers, the mighty followers, dictated that the flames were to be added. So after we get through with all of these windshield bits, that is precisely what happened. And when it came to applying these windshield stickers, the biggest problem I had was that the main front windshield sticker had a tendency to get some bubbles in it. I don't know if it all got applied as well as it could have. A way you can alleviate that is to use a hairdryer and flatten everything out. I did my best, but I do not own a hairdryer at this point in time. Maybe a Goodwill will be accommodating at some point. But anyway, there were also some tiny little windshield stickers for the back. I went ahead and applied those just because it looked a little bit more cohesive. But yeah, here is the windshield bits all completed. Now, I forgot to film this, but in the set, you do get the option of either black or black or turquoise door trim, and I went with the turquoise. It actually matches my paint better than it matches the turquoise on the figure, so it worked out pretty well. So now we move on to the door panels, which were easy enough to apply. They come apart in 4 pieces, I think, and the biggest thing to pay attention to here is just making sure that everything lines up correctly. If you are like me, I'm super anal about alignment of the stickers with my chaotic good self. And so it's just taking your time and making sure that everything is properly lined up with the panels of the vehicle and the ends of the stickers. I totally just over-explained sticker application, but and I may be trying to waste a little bit more time here, but the the results are a net positive. So now we move on to the detail work, starting with the lights. The main headlights, well, actually all of the lights, I painted with that metallic silver just to give them a base. These paints, especially that silver there, are kind of thin, so it would have taken a lot of paint to cover up all of that red. So I took the silver as a kind of shiny base to put that beautiful metallic purple over. And I did the same process with all of the front headlights as well as all of the rear, using a very, very, very fine brush to accomplish it. You may want to use something like a toothpick, which I may have also used, I don't quite remember, but both methods are effective. And then of course just going over adding multiple layers of paint just to build up the proper sheen that you're looking for. And now we are going in with a matte black, and I'm giving the front end just a little bit more definition. Instead of letting the front kind of grille areas be darkened by shadow, I just went ahead and painted them black. And of course, just take your time to do so. This really kind of fine detail painting can be stressful and kind of annoying, especially if you have a shaky hand. Just take your time, brace yourself, remember to breathe, and everything will hopefully work out just fine. And here is the head all taped up. The game model has a little bit of red in the design of his head, so I wanted to try to recreate that, so I took the masking tape, taped off his ears, and then sprayed as well as I could. Sorry about the lighting, but if you couldn't see, his eye visor is also purple as well. One thing that I did note upon transformation is that the paint rub will certainly happen on that hood hinge right there, which kind of bummed me out because it kind of broke up the stripe there. But honestly, once I started taking pictures, it was hardly even noticeable. And you can make the excuse that it's like a hood vent or something. So in the meantime, I went ahead and deconstructed most of the figure again, and went ahead and sealed it with a gloss sealer. And now we partake in the reassembly process once more. And I also added some decals onto the legs and the chest and the arms, just some detail stuff. I didn't add everything because I didn't feel like everything fit, and I apologize that I didn't film that process, but you'll be able to see all those details here in 1 second. And here is Deadheat all finished up. And while a lot of the legwork is done by the stickers, I'm still incredibly pleased with how this thing turned out. I think the colors worked beautifully with the game model, and I was a little bit worried that the flame stickers would contrast with the rest of the deco, but I think they all worked together really well. Now again, I didn't add all of the stickers. If you make this custom for yourself, it is all just up to your personal aesthetic preference. So anyway, you guys, that is Transformers Universe Deadheat. I hope you found this video enlightening and enjoyable, and if you would like to see more photos of this guy, you can check out my Instagram at Good and Evil Transformers. You can check out my other customs, as well as some Transformers reviews. But until next time, you guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and again, happy customizing.